Welcome to FYI with Barry ZeVAN. I am Barry ZeVAN, big deal. And not. But what we do really have today is a big deal. My guest is Michelle Ness, who is the Executive Director of PRISM, based in Golden Valley. And Michelle, welcome to FYI.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful to have you. And please, first of all, tell us what PRISM is for those who aren't familiar.
Absolutely. PRISM is a nonprofit. We're located in Golden Valley, and we are the food shelf for the local area. We address housing and clothing. So we are the social service provider for the mid-suburb area around basic needs.
Yeah, and Golden Valley, for those who may be watching elsewhere, is in Minnesota.
Golden Valley, Minnesota, yes.
We're part of the Twin Cities. Basic needs, these days, it seems that there are more people needing more. Is that a correct assumption?
Indeed it is. And you'll notice we're not a developing nation, right? We've got plenty of food. It's not that we can't produce food or have it available, but it's the access to healthy, quality, affordable food that is a challenge for a growing number of families. At PRISM, we operate a food shelf. We call it the Marketplace Food Shelf. In November, this past month, we had 823 families come through. And the intention is that we're a supplement. We provide a hand up to people during their time of need. So when somebody is struggling maybe to pay a bill or to just make ends meet, we're available to be able to lessen that burden to help stretch budgets. Families can come and access the food shelf once per month, and every person who comes in has the opportunity to meet with a case manager. This is something that we take very seriously, engaging directly with individuals. So it's about establishing a relationship and then also assessing for needs, because hunger is a symptom of poverty. And if folks are struggling to have enough to eat, there's a very good chance they've got some other challenges. So we sit down with every single person, all of those 823 families, to get to know them and find out what other needs they might have. After that, they're able to shop independently in the food shelf. It's set up like a grocery store. And we are intentional about having a consistent availability of healthy, quality foods, perishable and non-perishable, as well as personal hygiene. So after their visit, families have a week to a week and a half worth of groceries, as well as some personal hygiene items. They've been able to shop on their own. They have been listened to and connected with a professional trained staff member. And the intention, and I think we're successful, is that people walk out feeling better and doing better than when they arrived.
You definitely know your subject because you've been in this sort of work for quite a while. And even though you're only 15 years old.
Yeah, thank you.
But no, truthfully, I mean, your background is phenomenal in this arena. Maybe you can tell us where it all started for you.
Sure.
Please.
Well, I'm a licensed social worker. I got my master's degree from the University of Minnesota, right here in the Twin Cities in 2005. But prior to that, I've worked in the nonprofit sector with adults with disabilities, mental health, welfare, housing, employment, evaluation, case management, youth, adult education. It kind of goes on and on. Having worked for fantastic organizations such as Neighborhood House over in St. Paul, Tubman here in Minneapolis, I've had great mentors and fantastic experiences that really prepared me exceptionally well for the role at PRISM. I've been with the organization as the executive director for just about 5 years now. And it's critical in my mind that not only we provide the very best services, but we do it in a way that does the most good. It's not just what we do, but how we do it. So for instance, gathering food, kind of the traditional, maybe old school model of a food shelf. Somebody walks in for help and they say, here's a bag of lima beans and peanut butter, and I hope that works for you. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with lima beans and peanut butter, not the ideal meal. But I like to choose my own groceries at the store. And we pass that same dignity along to the families that we serve. I like to say that everybody gets treated like they're $1 million donor because everybody is worth it. And as a community gathering place, we don't know, honestly, when folks walk through the door, if they are coming for assistance, if they want to volunteer, if they want to donate. And frankly, regardless of their reason to be there, everybody gets treated exceptionally well.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Dignity, I think, is a huge word, because I'm certain there are people who come for the first time who say, oh my gosh, I'm in this particular situation.
Yeah.
How do I approach this? How do I live with this?
Yeah.
How do you help those people understand that this is not supposed to be embarrassing for them?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Where my office is located, I'm actually right by the door. So I get to connect with a lot of people. And it is not infrequent that folks say, this is my first time coming here. Am I in the right place? And I say, you absolutely are welcome. We're glad to have you. Let me show you where to go. So one, it's how we engage with people right there and then on the spot. Our hope is that it's not when things are a crisis beyond repair when they come to us, but let us be a part of the journey so it doesn't turn into a crisis. And the proof is in the pudding. It's the experience that people have. Do they feel listened to? Are they able to move through the organization and the systems in an efficient way? Do they get their needs met? And do they feel good? My hope is that PRISM is really the premier nonprofit. That's my goal, is that we are the organization where people want to volunteer, where people want to work, where people want to donate, that people want to come to for assistance, because we do everything exceptionally well. Kind of like having the bar up here. People are our most valued resource, and a sense of belonging is the most fundamental human need. And when people are struggling to meet their basic needs, the very least we can do is treat them with the utmost respect.
That's so wonderful. Who founded PRISM?
PRISM was founded in the 1970s, and this story is similar to other organizations in the suburbs. But it was in the early 1970s that faith communities came together and said, instead of us each individually responding to the needs of community members, what if we kind of collectively pooled our resources? And so that's how PRISM was founded. Other suburban nonprofits like SEEP or ICA, STEP, same thing. It was faith communities that largely got us started. In 1983, we were formed officially as a nonprofit. And today, we provide food, clothing, and housing assistance to thousands and thousands of families every single year.
Now, PRISM is an acronym for what words?
PRISM is an acronym for People, Responding, and Social Ministry. So it pays homage to our roots and our founding members, and also, I think, is accurate in that we're not faith-based, but we're faith-supported. So we serve people of all abilities, of all faiths, and of all backgrounds, and continue to have wonderful engagement with our faith communities in a number of different roles. Without the work of our faith communities, we wouldn't be able to continue providing the services that we do. And collaboration really is the key to success and innovation. So whether it's the faith communities, the business sector, other nonprofits, there are amazing people doing tremendous work in so many different places. And I feel that it's my job to find as many different opportunities to work in synergy as possible. I think there's lots of triple bottom lines to be found if you've got the right people with the right intentions.
One of the places you worked also was the Paul and Sheila Wellstone Foundation. Please describe how that was.
Yeah, so Neighborhood House is currently located in the Paul and Sheila Wellstone Center. So the building is named in their honor.
I see.
As an organization that served people of all backgrounds. The west side of St. Paul welcomed immigrant families in the late 1800s, and community centers for the decades after that continue to provide services to folks who are either new to the country or simply struggling to make ends meet. So my time there, I think, was really formative in understanding the diversity of needs. And while there are seemingly so many ways that we are different from each other, right? There are times when we might see somebody and say, well, your clothes are different, or your hair is different, and maybe you smell different, and the foods that you eat and the things you do, it all seems so different. But when we look at what are the fundamental values that we hold true, right? Of family, of valuing our elders and wanting children to grow and enjoying gathering for meals, say with holidays. These are the same things that immigrants, refugees, and people of all backgrounds value. We're far more alike than we are different, but it's easy to lose sight of that. And I think that we have a very significant responsibility in the helping profession. Ethics are key to ensuring that we are doing the most good. Fundamentally do no harm. Got that. Flip that inside out. How can we do the most good? That's where my aim is.
Do you feel that what you learned in the University of Minnesota for a social degree really applied to what you've learned on the outside?
Absolutely, absolutely. I had practiced direct service for many years prior to going to graduate school, and found that the systems and the theories and kind of the formal teaching behind it really validated and filled in the experiences that I had, and then of course helped to propel me forward with more information and connections. So much of what we do is about relationships, and so whether personal, professional, or in the helping sector.
Now, you've recently aligned with the Jewish Family Services. Is that what that is?
Yes.
What is that?
Yes.
Actually.
So we're very excited. We're going to be moving in the spring. We are in partnership with a wonderful and well-respected organization, Jewish Family and Children Service, out of Minneapolis. They have amazing programs addressing seniors and mental health and employment and early childhood. Programs that complement the basic need services of food, clothing, and housing in a tremendous way. They have identified over the years a need to address hunger. Many of the other family centers around the country have food shelves, and they said, we want to be involved in hunger, and they've got some key leaders within their stakeholder base who said, we are willing to invest in this. After meeting with me and with PRISM, said, you know, there is something really special here. What if we have a shared home? Would you be interested in co-locating?
Oh, wow.
And without wanting to jump too quickly, but yes, absolutely. So we're in the middle of a capital campaign. It's called A Better Tomorrow. Our goal is to raise $350,000 by the end of 2018. So this building that's been purchased and is being renovated, the build out included at no charge to us, is a tremendous gift. We need to pick up ourselves, shake out all the old stuff, of which there is a lot of old hand-me-down stuff, and move into this space to continue doing the great work as we're seeing needs grow in the community.
What will be the location?
We are going to be located at 3905 Golden Valley Road.
Oh.
So we're still in Golden Valley. What's exciting about this new location is we're going to have a storefront for our thrift shop. So I said we address food, clothing, and housing. For clothing, we run a social enterprise. That is the jargon for we run a business. And that business generates revenue to support our mission services. So our thrift shop, it's quality donations from the community. We make them available at exceptional prices. Most things are $2, $3, $4, $5. And it generates revenue. So it's mission in that we keep our prices low intentionally. There's a lot of thrift shops, and it's a popular trend these days to generate revenue. We generate revenue, and it's for mission services as well. It's open to the public, so while our prices are low, and the intention is that even on a limited budget, you can shop with dignity, we will take anybody's money, and everybody is welcome to shop there. We've got great deals, volunteers who receive donations, volunteers who work on the floor. It's really just a lovely outfit. We have a lot of fun. It does great good. Building community. We've got a lot of seniors, adult daycares who have regular stop with us. We've got the Russian elders. We've got Latino elders. It's become this really powerful community building opportunity. We've got a free shelf available as well, so these are overflow products from the food shelf. So people are walking away with produce and with bread and, kids' clothes for 75 cents and bags and jewelry. And we've heard people say, I always had to say no to my kids. But when I come here, I can say yes.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Or seniors who said, I love giving gifts, but I just haven't been able to until I came here. And now I can afford it because we've got beautiful, vases and things for 25 cents.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the program today, we're going to see a video about
PRISM, yeah.
PRISM and what it does. So we'll be looking forward to that in
very telling.
about 9 minutes.
Yeah.
You were born in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Muskegon, Michigan,
Oh,
but
Muskegon.
lived in Kalamazoo for many years.
James Earl Jones' hometown, matter of fact.
Okay.
Did you remember that?
I think I did.
Yeah,
I did.
that's good.
Yeah.
Your voice is just as good as his.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but.
But yeah, I got to know his father, and he was very proud of James, of course.
Yes.
But so what got you to Minnesota?
So I grew up in Michigan and attended college and just said, I'm ready to experience a little bit more in life. I went to Portage Northern High School, went to Western Michigan University, so right near home. By the time I got done with undergraduate, I said, I need to spread my wings a little bit. And I knew a boy in Minneapolis and took a chance and moved out here in 1997. We got married in 2000. So we just celebrated 17 years of marriage, and I've got 3 boys, and kind of the rest is history. I absolutely love the Twin Cities, and in the nonprofit sector especially, there's amazing people doing tremendous work. The opportunity for collaboration is like never before. This is a new normal that we're living in many ways. The needs of seniors as folks who are retiring, and retirement looks very different than it did 20 years ago. The needs of our community are complex and they're growing. I'm excited to be able to collaborate with organizations like Jewish Family and Children's Service. I'm excited of looking with other nonprofits and other businesses so that we can provide the best services. For instance, we're piloting a program with the 30-Day Foundation with local musician Mick Sterling for a temporary home for folks who are between homelessness and moving into their new space.
Oh, wow.
We help people stay in their homes through prevention. We get about 70 calls a month for people looking for some sort of assistance with housing. We can help about 8 of them. So we need our resources to grow to address the significant housing needs. And then we help families who are in shelter to find permanent, stable housing in the suburbs. You might not know, Barry, but there are more people in poverty in the suburbs than in the city right now.
Oh my gosh.
More people.
Wow.
And this is not how our systems were designed.
No.
Transportation, geographic disparities and types of organizations. One of the best ways to respond to the growing suburban poverty is to have a variety of quality services readily accessible. And that's exactly what we're doing with Jewish Family and Children's Service in this new space. Our services, like I said, don't duplicate but complement each other in this really lovely way. It's going to be accessible. And so we are taking a significant charge, I guess, in providing exceptional services to a growing need. So while this collaboration is about doing the best work and synergy and efficiency, it's also inherently exactly what needs to be done in order to best address the growing suburban poverty.
Do you know how we compare with other countries, not only just in North America or the Americas, but say in Europe or Asia? Do they have comparable services like yours, or are we kind of unique?
Well, what I'd like to suggest, Barry, is you and I take a little trip, and we can report back to everybody.
Yeah. We'll start in Monte Carlo. Yes.
No, I think in many ways the experiences that we have are unique. Whether it's the geography here of the United States, we very much have an individualistic society. and it's each man for himself. And there are many other communities that take a far more collective approach, and it's not about me, but it's about we. We have an assumption that, you've got a friend, you've got a resource, find your bootstraps and make it go. And the reality is that it's not a level playing field, and not everybody is born with the same equal and fair opportunities. Just to touch on it quickly, there's some amazing research through the Advanced, I'm losing my acronyms, ACEs. It's about childhood adversity. And the research has shown that the more adverse experiences that children have, the poorer their outcomes. Well, this isn't rocket science, right? If kids don't have a safe home, if they don't have food, if they don't have health care, if they're exposed to violence, if they are hurt, they are going to grow up to have more challenges. They are less likely to finish high school. They are more likely to be pregnant. They are more likely to be involved with the law. All the social ills that we're addressing, and ultimately a shorter lifespan. How we take care of our most vulnerable determines the quality of our society. And so while there's no one simple, easy explanation, the reality is how we raise the most vulnerable determines what we're living with down the road. And I think that by taking care of parents the way that we do, ensuring that they have food, that they're able to maintain their housing, that they've got quality clothing, especially in Minnesota when it's so darn cold, that gives children the best opportunity to be healthy and strong. Children exist within the context of families, and families are critically important. And so we do all that we can to help stabilize and stretch the resources of families in our community, with the hope that they walk away more empowered, feeling better emotionally to be able to withstand life's challenges. They're better equipped to be able to take the next challenge on, knowing that we have their back, that our arms are linked in it together.
Well, you've just given us quite an education regarding regarding the vulnerability aspects of growing up in not so good situations. Little sidebar, as far as our elderly population, many people have said that we are the worst in taking care of our older people compared to other countries, Asia, Europe. In Singapore, I was there about 5 years ago, and I saw these gigantic apartment buildings coming in from the airport to downtown. And I asked the cab driver, what's this all about? He said, we take care of all our older people. They get a monthly stipend, which is more than enough for food, and they get free rent in these huge apartment buildings.
Right.
And it's because we care about our older people, and we respect the wisdom they have, and they should be treated well. And it's got me to thinking, oh, really? This is different.
It's very different. The lack of affordable housing for seniors is significant, and we're in a situation, very honestly, where we're facing grandma going to shelter. And I don't know about you, but that is not okay with me. We can do better, and we must do better. What kind of society are we if we can let grandparents go to shelter, children go without food and education and health? We can do better, and we must.
You're doing a lot for everybody.
And it takes everybody. My hope is that by being a part of PRISM, people feel good. That it's a sense of belonging, it's a positive experience, that they're learning about the issues, but also feeling like they're making a difference because they are. This shouldn't be like a pity party, a sob story. Feel good, enjoy it, invite other people to join in. That's what PRISM is here for. That's
wonderful. Well, I'm glad you were here and you are here, and I hope people pay attention to PRISM's further developments, and especially donations.
Yes. Our campaign.
Yeah, and right now, in about 30 seconds, we're going to see a video of more of what PRISM is about, and after which we'll just say right now, actually, so long, and thanks again for being with me today.
My pleasure. Anytime, Barry.
Thank you very much, Michelle, and And after the video, we'll just say, well, I'll say bye-bye for right now, but we'll close out with this video from PRISM.
PRISM is an organization that's committed to meeting the needs of healthy food, proper clothing, and housing stability. And we do that through our food shelf, which employs the choice model, our thrift shop, which is open to the public and has great standards at great prices, and through helping people both maintain and obtain safe, stable housing, and then through our kids programs. We have so many different ways that people can engage in a dignified manner.
Poverty is growing fastest in the suburbs. That means our work is more important than ever. We respond to the needs of folks who are experiencing financial challenges. Our mission is to help people build healthy, stable lives.
Coming to PRISM, I have built a foundation of hope. I had gave up on life. Every day I wake up, I don't want to be here. But then after I came here, I want to live because someone does care. I don't give up on life no more. Just from coming here. Thank you so much for giving me the strength to move forward.
Together, we are able to improve the lives of our community. No one of us can do this on our own. We would not be able to serve the community in the ways that we do without our volunteers.
It's very rewarding helping these families because they are the ones that need it.
We stock the shelves, but we also provide people with friendship and help build them up and make their day a tiny bit better.
Shop for Change is life-changing. We know that the goal and the mission is get people on their feet and get them to that next step. I love it here.
Somebody's like one injury, one paycheck away from visiting a food shelf. Without having PRISM here, I think it would be a little bit harder for folks to keep doing what they're doing.
When people come into PRISM, they leave with an ally. We ask them about their challenges, and we connect them to appropriate resources in the community.
Families are in crisis, and I take them from crisis to stability and empowerment.
I've been here almost 14 years in Golden Valley. I just moved from a place where the rent went up, and if you couldn't afford to pay, you had to move. And then all of a sudden having to get all my kids and family and just go. It was really hard. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have them to lean on when I was in need.
My mom is my hero. Without my mom, we probably wouldn't be where we are. PRISM has been helping us a lot, getting all of our supplies and things that we need. The new backpack and new pencils, erasers, scissors. It's great knowing that PRISM is always there.
The need is consistent. Whether it's food, clothing, or housing, PRISM is the place that people come to get back on their feet.
The work that we're doing is really changing lives, one story at a time.
After coming here and talking to people, you realize, you can make it.
Once you empower people, they do it on their own.
If PRISM wasn't here, it would be a struggle. We're a better family thanks to PRISM.
Together, we can and we will improve the health and stability of families in our community.